I know this is something you dealt with the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. Is there a scenario where Jacoby Brissett should play for the Browns?
I kind of am of the mind that I don't know necessarily if like you would ever we had this discussion in the context of, oh, well, like if the world was ending tomorrow and this game depended on it, would you rather start Jacoby or Deshaun? And I think like in that context, in that made up vacuum that we talked about for a fun conversation, I think I would pick Jacoby in that situation just because Deshaun did look rusty the last time we saw him. But, I do think there are instances I would be for using Jacoby, especially we saw how automatic he was on those sneaks for the most part. If you want to throw him in then for one or two plays, great. But I think you kind of have to let Deshaun Watson ride this rust out a little bit because that's the only way to get rid of it is giving him game reps. And, I think technically are the Browns still in the playoff hunt? Yes, absolutely. The problem is it's getting less and less likely by the week. These AFC games have just not gone their way, especially the way the other teams in their division and what their records are now. It still, I think, is going to be a tough road to make the playoffs this year. And when the Browns executed this trade, the reality is it wasn't a trade to try to win a Super Bowl this season. Of course, that would have been very nice. That would be very nice if they were somehow miraculously able to do that at 5-7 now. But I just think it's for the future. That's how this franchise thinks. They don't think for the next year. They think 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road on what this team is going to look like. So I think it's really important that they let him work through these rough patches and get him acclimated. And I think it's also really important to kind of get an idea to see what else you may need on this team. Like what is going to help Deshaun Watson be really successful when he has a full season with you in 2023, and what other pieces do you maybe still need to accomplish that?
Yeah, and it gives Kevin Stefanski an idea of this is what he does really well in my system, and that's important. Yeah. He has to know that from game number 1 next season.
Yeah, it's an art, I think, when you are a play caller in the NFL. It's an art and a science. It's this weird combination of the two, but it's important for Kevin Stefanski as the play caller and as the designer of this offense to know how Deshaun Watson, can be most effective and what he likes to do and what they can be successful when they're calling plays for him. So I do think that is also a really, really important element of all of this.